Hey guys, what's up? It's once again at mp4podcast.com, and this is a video response kinda to Ann Murphy. I know it's not my full Laserdisc collection, but I wanted to make a video for a long time about this golden trophy of the Star Wars Laserdisc collection. Now I will say this, since Ann Murphy, you're in the UK, you're PAL format, I can definitely tell you that the PAL versions of Star Wars on Laserdisc is better than the North American NTSC printing. There is a lot more color saturation in the PAL version. However, sometimes you can get close or maybe match it by tweaking the colors on your television set. But I'm just saying, out of the box, the PAL version is better. However, I use NTSC because my TV sets are NTSC. So this is the box right here. This is a huge box. When this Laserdisc collection came out, it went for $250. Imagine paying $250 for 3 movies, just for a box set. Here is the back. And this piece of paper right here got torn up a little bit. I bought this off of eBay because at the time when it came out like back in the early 90s, I think. I want to say maybe 95 or whatever. It was before the remastered version of Star Wars came out. Now I do want to go into a little history of this Laserdisc set. The first printing, and I can only speak for the NTSC version, there are 2 problems with the first printing. One, there is no closed caption. So if you have somebody in your family or a friend who you want to watch Star Wars with on these Laserdiscs, make sure you have the one that has closed caption. Now, the other problem is Empire Strikes Back. There is 10 seconds of footage missing. It's a scene where Han Solo and Princess Leia are in the Millennium Falcon and they're on that asteroid with that monster where they flew into its stomach, I guess. And Han Solo and Princess Leia are arguing, and there is 10 seconds missing. I believe it's right before you have to flip the disc or something like that. So to show you the box, this is the box right here, and you're probably saying, what's that? It looks a little weird. Well, this Laserdisc collection came with a George Lucas film book. So I would say this is probably, if you're really into Star Wars or the Indiana Jones. First, I want to take a look at the kind of like the chapter book for the Laserdisc. And these are all the people who really worked on Star Wars. I think he was a director for Return of the Jedi and some other people. And just going to take a quick look. So when you buy this, if you decide to buy this Laserdisc, you have to make sure, tell the guy, does the closed caption work? If there's closed caption, it works. And you have to find that chapter, that scene that's missing. If the seller doesn't have an older TV, then he may not be able to test for closed caption, but he should. Closed caption, well, sometimes the new HD TV sets, closed caption won't work unless it's hooked up to RF. Because of laws, the TV manufacturers only have to make sure closed captions work through RF, not through any of the other inputs. But most good branded TV sets will still support closed caption no matter what the input is. But it has to be 480i for closed caption to work. If it's on 480p, closed captions will not work. So, as you can see, that's a pretty big set for Jabba the Hutt's flying palace. Humongous. I mean, the size of a trailer again. or a small building almost. That's kind of amazing, actually. So anyway, we'll take a look at the George Lucas. Take a quick look at it. It's a huge book. I'll show you, it's about this big. And kind of has a cloth glued on material, I want to say. Looks like some of this old equipment they used to use. That's George Lucas on THX. I never really was a fan of THX. I know there are some fans. Here is a old black and white picture of Star Wars. Probably taken back in the 70s. There's George Lucas right there. Then I quickly glance through it. You know, it's mostly, some of it, mostly Star Wars, I guess, and Indiana Jones. As you can see, yeah, there's Indiana Jones right there. So it's just not a Star Wars book, really. It looks kind of animated. That's probably Willow with the duck. Some other things. Just for any Indiana Jones fans, there was an Indiana Jones TV series if you guys are interested. I know there's a Laserdisc collection. It's Tucker. I believe this was the movie Tucker. And that's, what's his name? Is that Val Kilmer? No, that's not Val Kilmer. I forget his name. The other actor. You see, there's a picture of from the television show. It's 4:3 ratio. It's filmed back in the 80s, I believe. And that actor, I think he died of a drug overdose. Well, that looked a little interesting. All the toys. Oops. It's like a mountains, guys, a clay mountain or something. A lot of the people that started working for George Lucas, maybe even before Star Wars, are still working for him. But I know there's a few of the guys that worked on the first Star Wars movie that still work for George Lucas. I'm going to show you this in case any of you kids never saw Laserdisc. There's plenty of videos on YouTube of what they look like. But just a little back history on Laserdisc. There's two different formats of Laserdisc. There's the CAV version, which holds half hour of video footage. And that version of the format, if you pause, the picture will stay on screen, or if you fast forward, you will be able to see the video being fast forward. The CLV version is an hour of footage, same exact quality, but if you fast forward, the picture goes black. If you pause, the picture goes black. Now, future Laserdisc, they did add in a memory chip, which if you hit pause, it would take a picture of the video, so it would stay on screen. Now, I'm not sure about fast forwarding. A lot of people say they do like Laserdisc better than DVD. It has more of an organic video look, and I'll have to agree to that. It has a less of a digitalized look to it, but the picture is a little bit softer. It's not as contrasty as DVD, so the white balance is a little bit off. It's not as accurate as DVD. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some really, really bad encoded DVDs. There are bad encoded Laserdiscs. Many different factors can take a play on things, what cameras they use, how they process it, what if they, the film was preserved. The list can go on and on why, something looks good or something does not look good. But overall, I do like the little bit more organic, I want to say film look. However, my Laserdisc, I have one that has a DVD player built into the Laserdisc player. It's only S-video output, doesn't have components, so that's a little bit of a downer. The S-video, in my opinion, on HD TV, doesn't look as good as component, but it's better than composite. A little bit better than composite, I guess. Sometimes I look at composite and S-video, almost look about the same. It's a good format. I just wish I had a Laserdisc that had component. I think there are some of the very high-end models. I think Pioneer stopped making them a couple of years ago, and some of the really high-end versions that were around $5,000 had component. I think there have been people who have modded their Laserdisc to have component. You can get them on eBay really cheap, just regular models. Movies are dirt cheap. But this is one of the golden grails of the original Star Wars printings. And I just want to say this is before George Lucas released the originals on DVD, not the special editions that he re-edited. This was considered to be the best set quality you can get, of a printing of Star Wars. Now, I just want to go a little further into Star Wars, and I'll make another video for Laserdisc, but I just want to talk about it. There is another Laserdisc of Star Wars, which also had a defective printing, and it was put out by CBS Fox. CBS and Fox, I guess, had a joint movie deal or something like that. I believe maybe that deal ran all the way up until Titanic. I believe that was produced by CBS Fox, and they would pull their money to do certain projects together. And they did distribution of Star Wars on Laserdisc. One of those versions is considered to be the most truest edited audio from the audio effects from the original theatrical release of Star Wars, the most accurate to date. And there is one problem about that version. I have that version, but I have the defective Laserdisc version. Let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say this is the movie right here, right? This is, let me see if I can pull this up. And it's a scene when Han Solo is outside, I guess, when he landed on the, when they rescued Princess Leia and they come back to the Rebel base. I think he's hanging out, and you'll see the picture go like this. They're repanning the adjustment of the camera. It goes up like this. But there's more picture like at the bottom, so you don't really notice it unless you're looking for it. If you can get the later printing of that Laserdisc, that is considered the most accurate, truest edited version of Star Wars. George Lucas went back and forth and started to re-edit Star Wars just from audio, not even video. There is a scene where 3CPO and R2-D2 are on the Death Star looking for Princess Leia. R2-D2 takes out his little, I guess, that little thing that comes out of his stomach, I guess, and he hacks into computers or something like that. USB drive, I guess, whatever you want to call it. 3 CPU says she's 3/4 down to the left of the hallway or something like that. And that's in one version of Star Wars. The other version, he doesn't say that. The computer goes, and then R2-D2, or I think R2-D2 goes, and then 3 CPU translates that and tells Han and Luke, and then they go. I kind of like the version without 3 CPU saying where they are. I can't really remember. I think it was like, no, it was R2-D2 said, it goes, and then Luke understood what he was saying, or something like that. And there's an edited version. There's different audio edits that have been done with not the sand people, those little guys, the guys that captured 3 CPU and R2-D2. I forget their names. When they first start to see R2 and 3 CPU, they're talking in their own language. I can't remember what they sound like, but there's audio injected into some of those scenes, and George Lucas has been playing back and forth with small little audio bites. So if you're a purist of Star Wars, I'll make another video probably within a week or two of that Laserdisc, and I'll show you that Laserdisc. So once again, guys, this has been mp4podcast.com showing you my greatest Laserdisc collection. So once again, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button. Always making new videos. Take care, guys. Later. Bye.